If at all there was anything, even an ounce of injustice that the proposals that the government has brought to the parliament, even if there was an ounce of injustice to the south of India, I as a proud Kannadiga would have been the first to oppose such kind of a proposal. I have gone through the proposal that the government of India has brought, the Modi government has brought. I am saying this not as a member of the BJP, but I am saying this after thoroughly examining all the three proposals, that other than the practical proposal that the Modi government has brought for delimitation of seats in the country, the south of India and the smaller states of India that have controlled our population, we could not have got a better deal than this. This is the best deal that the Narendra Modi government has provided. The total number of seats meant to the Loksabha, the House of People, must be divided across the country in such a manner that the ratio between the number of total seats and the population of the state is, so far as practicable, the same for all states. This is the first requirement. There are assembly constituencies and parliamentary constituencies. Again, I want to take the reference made by learned colleague Gaurav Gogoiji in his speech. There are certain assembly constituencies in this country which are 26 lakh in number. There are certain constituencies where one single MP is representing close to 38 lakh people in the country. The population of almost a small nation in Europe. How is this democratic? How is this accountable governance? Equation, but the Narendra Modi government has decided to bring a new equation to the scheme, which is going to give more seats to all states, more representation, and while doing this, follow the constitutional mandate of delimitation based on one vote, one value principle. Now, suppose the government today does not go ahead with delimitation, and 330A comes into play by force of law. 2027 census gets published. What will happen then? Look at these numbers, Speaker, sir. Today, Kerala has 20 parliamentary seats. If you will divide based on 2027 projected population, the population of the country and population of Kerala, and divide the 553 seats across the country from north to south, then Kerala will lose 6 seats. Kerala will have only 14 seats. But let us divide the country's parliamentary seats on the basis of 2011 census. Now what will happen? 2011 census ke aadhar par, if we are going to divide the number of seats, again 543 because Article 81 freezes is at 843, again Kerala will lose 5 seats. If you take 2011 seat number, Kerala will lose 5 seats. If you take 27 number, Kerala will lose 6 seats. The total share of the South Indian states, which as it stands today, in the total scheme of things in the parliament, in the floor of the parliament, which is 23.9, will continue to remain 23.9 after this is passed. I don't understand where is this objection coming from. Now, if we were to increase the number of seats purely on the basis of 2011 census, by not providing...
He's not yielding.
By not providing a 50% increase, Chairman sir, this will be the scenario. Tamil Nadu today has 39 seats. If delimitation were to be conducted purely on the basis of 2011 census, it will be 49 seats. What Narendra Modi government is giving to Tamil Nadu today is 59 seats, 10 seats more than what the opposition is arguing for. The majority margin, the halfway mark today is at 272. If there is going to be a 50% increase in the total number of seats, naturally the halfway mark also will jump by 50%. So this whole argument that the southern states is going to lose because of the proportionate 50% increase, I will say, is not only a vacuous argument, it is an illogical argument, it is not only an unconstitutional argument, but most importantly, Speaker sir, this is a mischievous argument that comes from creating anarchy in this country by misleading the people. Of linking the population of the state along with the GSDP, the state's per capita contribution and the state's gross development of the state. Now this argument, I don't know, Speaker sir, who has advised the Chief Minister of Telangana. Either I can only say that they don't wish him well, because this proposal is laughable at the best and impractical at the worst. Let me explain why. First, if you will say that the vote of a common citizen in Telangana has more value than the vote of a common voter in Bihar, then you are defeating the constitutional principle of one value, one vote. आप किसके आधार पर देश में ये डिलिमिटेशन और एक्सरसाइज करना चाहते हैं? जो अमीर है क्या उनके लिए ज्यादा वोट होगा? जो गरीब है क्या उनका वोट नहीं है, उसके लिए वैल्यू नहीं है? ये किस प्रकार के आर्गुमेंट है? अध्यक्ष जी, if you will take this argument further forward, Mukesh Ambani will have 1 lakh vote and somebody like us will have only 1 vote. Is this the kind of logic that the Congress wants to build? Speaker sir, today is truly a historic day, because finally the women of India, who have been waiting for almost 40 years for their right, for their due to participate in the national policy-making process, will finally get their share. The Narendra Modi government, by the 3 bills that have now been introduced, is not only going to fast-track the Women's Reservation Bill and its applicability from 2029, it is also going to write a new chapter in the development journey of India by for the first time giving the Nari Shakti of this country a vocal, visible, credible, tangible representation in the nation-building process. I would want to, on behalf of all the women of this country, congratulate and thank Prime Minister Narendra Modi for these 3 very important and historic bills that are fast-tracking, catalyzing the participation of women in the country's politics. Speaker, sir, the journey of the Women Representation Bill, the Women Reservation Bill that started in 1996 and is finally now seen crucial in 2026. This 30-year journey has seen a checkered history. At least a half a dozen times, the bill was introduced, and on one pretext or the other, especially parties who are now in the opposition, delayed, disrupted, and ensured that the bill does not see the light of day. We still remember when earlier the bill was introduced in the earlier government's tenure, leaders from Samajwadi Party and the RJD tore up the bill in this house and said this women reservation bill will pass only over my dead body. The country remembers this kind of emphatic opposition that they gave to the women reservation bill at that time. ये अटके रहा था, 30 साल के लिए अटके रहा था। आज नारी शक्ति वंदन अधिनियम जो पारित हुआ है, वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ भारतीय जनता पार्टी और नरेंद्र मोदी जी के कारण से वो पारित हो चुका है। अध्यक्ष जी, even today, the opposition has now come up with a new argument, a new pretext to further stall and further disturb and oppose the application of the Women Reservation Bill. And the new pretext that they have come up with is this vacuous opposition, this baseless opposition to the delimitation exercise. When the Nari Shakti Adhiniyam was passed in 2023, and it was passed unanimously, all political parties agreed that the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam, the Women Reservation Bill, will be applicable after the census and a delimitation is undertaken. This is the mandate of the Constitution that everybody voted for. Today, The opposition has taken a U-turn. They are now opposing the fast-tracking of this bill in the 2029 elections and saying we want to oppose this because we don't want the delimitation exercise to take place. I come from the south of the country, the southern state of Karnataka, Speaker sir, just like you represent from Kerala. Speaker sir, over the last 3 days, we have seen a systematic misleading and propaganda by certain members of the opposition in the most irresponsible, anarchic fashion to mislead the people in the south of India. Let me make it very clear. If at all there was anything, even an ounce of injustice that the proposals that the government has made, has brought to the parliament, even if there was an ounce of injustice to the south of India, I as a proud Kannadiga would have been the first to oppose such kind of a proposal. I have gone through the proposal that the government of India has brought, the Modi government has brought. I am saying this not as a member of the BJP, but I am saying this after thoroughly examining all the 3 proposals, that other than the practical proposal that the Modi government has brought for delimitation of seats in the country, the south of India and the smaller states of India that have controlled our population, we could not have got a better deal than this. This is the best deal that the Narendra Modi government has provided. Very briefly, I want to explain to you, through you to the House and the country, Speaker sir, the constitutional framework that governs the delimitation exercise. My learned friend Gaurav Gogoiji was in his speech mentioning that we are bringing the delimitation exercise through the back door. I want to very clearly make it clear to him that the delimitation exercise is not a backdoor exercise that the BJP is doing. This is a constitutional mandate of Article 81 and 82. We are only purely following what the Constitution asks us to do. There are 3 primary articles that govern the exercise that we are now conducting, Speaker sir. Article 81, Article 82, and Article 330A of the Constitution, which provides for women reservation. Let us examine all the 3 articles briefly and summarily to understand what the articles essentially say. The first article, 81, determines the total number of seats. It also says that the total number of seats meant to the Loksabha, the House of People, must be divided across the country in such a manner that the ratio between the number of total seats and the population of the state is, so far as practicable, the same for all states. This is the first requirement. The second requirement of Article 81 is that within the states, the territorial constituencies shall be divided in such a manner that the ratio between the population of each constituency and the number of seats allotted is, as far as practicable, same within the state. This is the mandate of the Article 81. Now, as you are aware, Speaker sir, Article 81 and Article 82, by operation of the 42nd Amendment, which was carried forward again by 2001 Amendment, froze the number of seats in the Lok Sabha to 543 with a leeway to expand it to 550 seats. Why was this done? In 1997, when this was first discussed, the population in the country had not stabilized. Therefore, a compromise formula was taken that let us not put the southern states which have performed well in population control, let us not penalize them, let us freeze the number of seats. The same thing continued even in 2001. In 2001, while considering this bill, the then Law Minister Arun Jaitley ji said this to the floor of the House. He said the national population policy also envisages that the year 2026 shall be the year in which the population of the country would hopefully stabilize. Therefore, what was true till 2000 is sought to be frozen till the year 2026. That is, the year in which we anticipate, hopefully, that the population figure in the country would stabilize. This is the motive behind freezing of the seats in 1971, which was carried for another 25 years in 2001. We are now in 2026. The first argument that the opposition is making is they don't want the delimitation exercise to take place. This is the most absurd argument. In 1971, the population of the country was 550 crores. The population of the country